Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So today we're going to talk about sweet spots for steroid dosing. So I'm going to go over the most mainstream compounds out there and give you the sweet spot dosing on all of them. So before we get started, I have to reiterate that I am not a doctor. Anything I say in these videos is for your entertainment purposes only. What you do with this information is completely and utterly up to you, and I am not advising nor condoning you to use any of the things that we discuss in here in any way, shape, or form. So, let's talk about steroid sweet spot dosing. I'm going to go down a list of the most commonly used and most mainstream used steroids and compounds. If there's something on here that I don't list and you've got a question on it, just post either down in the comments or send me an email with your question on the proper dosing, because I'm sure there's something on here that's not very commonly used or something that's going to get left out that somebody's got a question on. That's cool. Just let me know and I'll cover it. So, start off with basic, just testosterone. This goes for all forms of testosterone because test is test is test. Obviously, if you're using a short ester, you're going to be pinning every other day. I'm just going to give you a weekly general dose. 350 to 500 milligrams a week is a sweet spot dosing. I am not the hugest fan in the world of running high amounts of test, although there are plenty of people that do enjoy 500 milligrams. I have no issue with that whatsoever. This is what we call personal preference, which is the beauty of life. We all have it. However, just being factual, 350 to 500 milligrams a week is generally the sweet spot. You start getting too low, you're probably going to be disappointed. You start going too high, you're just going to run into more and more and more side effects. 355 to 500 milligrams in that range is generally where you want to be. Anadrol. So Anadrol, 50 milligrams a day is a general good starting point. Some people will go up to 100 milligrams. Some people need to go down to 25. 50 milligrams is the sweet spot, and most people are completely and utterly fine with that dose and never need to go up or down. It may be a good idea to start a little bit lower and work your way up, and there is always that possibility to work up to 100 milligrams, which I would not exceed. Deca and NPP. So we know NPP is just a short ester form of Deca. I am a big proponent of not exceeding 400 milligrams per week of Deca. 300 to 400 milligrams per week is perfect when it comes to Deca, to getting the most out of it and keeping the side effects as low as humanly possible, which is what we want to do on any cycle. We want to get the most out of it and endure the least amount of side effects. 300 to 400 milligrams, I would not exceed 400 milligrams. Trenbolone, same thing. 250 to 400 milligrams a week. You can still get nice results, and this goes for Tren Ace, whatever. Just remember, Tren is Tren is Tren. 250 to 400 milligrams a week. There is absolutely no need whatsoever to go over 400 milligrams. I'm not saying that you can't exceed the doses I'm giving you. I'm telling you that's where the problems start to occur. Okay? Some people do handle things a little bit better than others, so keep that in mind. Everybody's different. Sweet spot dosings that are given are general. There are always exceptions. So before somebody writes me and goes, well, I run it higher than that, and you're just this, and this. I'm talking for most people in general, not 100%. Okay? But yes, 250 to 400 milligrams. You will still see good results at 250 milligrams, and you will mitigate the side effects, which are definitely wretched when it comes to Tren, especially far more for some than others. Now, just to reiterate here, these compounds I just listed, none of these I would say are suitable for women. I will give a women's dose on the ones that are more suitable. Winstrol, I would say don't exceed 50 milligrams per day of Winstrol. As a female, I would keep it lower in that 5 to 10 milligrams per day. Same with the injectable version. Winstrol is Winstrol is Winstrol. You start getting too high and you're going to run into nothing but problems. So I would keep it in that 50 milligram range for a man and 5 to 10 for a woman. You can go lower too. There's no problem with that whatsoever. Anavar, men, no need whatsoever to exceed 60 milligrams per day. I see people saying they want to run 100, 120 milligrams. If you have good Anavar, that is crazy. Completely unnecessary. 40 to 60 milligrams per day, perfect sweet spot dosing. For a female, 5 to 10 milligrams per day. Tbol, Dianabol, 40 to 60 milligrams for a man. 60 is the top end. It can be a little high for some. Generally, Tbol is well tolerated. I generally don't recommend Tbol to be ran by females whatsoever. Primobolan, 600 milligrams per week, up to 800, really. I'm not even going to comment on oral Primobolan because I feel it's a complete waste of time and money, effectiveness-wise. Females, 50 to 100 milligrams per week of Primobolan is more than sufficient. Men, up to 800 milligrams is really a sweet spot. Even 500, you're going to see good results. So I'll say 500 to 800 milligrams per week. Equipoise, for men, 600 to 800 milligrams per week, low end 500. Females, same thing, 50 to 100 milligrams a week, although I'm not a huge fan of females using this. It is something that they do use at times, so that would be what I would recommend. Let's see, what else do we have here? Halotestin. 10 to 20 milligrams per day is generally more than sufficient. Females don't go near this. But for men, 10 to 20 milligrams, up to 30 possibly, but you have to really be experienced and really tolerate it well. Superdrol, women, don't even think about it. Men, 10 to 30 milligrams. 10 is definitely where you want to start and see how you tolerate it, because it can be a major issue in headache, and literal headache that will cause you. Dianabol, Tbol. I never recommend men to go over 30 milligrams of it. I see guys running 50 milligrams and then they wonder why they have so many issues when it comes to estrogen and gynecomastia. There's no need to go over 30 milligrams of Tbol. There just honestly isn't. You can, sure, but it is completely and utterly unnecessary and not something that I generally recommend. Women, don't go near it. Proviron, women, don't go near it. Men, 50 milligrams per day is perfect. You can go 25 milligrams. You can even go up to 100. 50 milligrams is absolutely perfect. Quickly, HGH, just to cover something that's not steroid related. 2 to 3 IUs per day is generally perfect. If you've got quality HGH, you shouldn't need any more than that. If you're running generics, then that's up to you to figure out. I don't comment on that because I don't touch it. And it's all different. You don't even really know what you're getting half the time. But just to touch on HGH real quick, because I know I'll get asked that as well. But other than that, those are your most mainstream compounds. Like I said, if you've got something, maybe some pro hormones you want to throw out there or something, or I don't know, there's other things out there that aren't as common, that I've done videos on that you can see where I've recommended the dosing on it. But these are the most commonly used compounds, and these are the sweet spots that I recommend. Like I said, before you say, well, I did this, well, I did that, well, that's great, but just because you did it and you're an exception or something of that matter doesn't mean it's good for everybody else. I'm speaking to the masses. Obviously, everybody's different, and obviously if you found something to work for you well, that's awesome. That's what trial and error is all about. But I always find it fascinating when I see people, well, I did this. Well, that's great, but I base it on numbers and statistics and experience, not just one person, but the mass. So, like I said, you always do what's best for you, not what I say or what anybody else says. But I do come off with general numbers that generally work for most people around. So, just to cover that, because I know I'm going to get something about that at some point, and somebody's not going to listen to this and still post it, and I'm going to have to just laugh or whatever. But it's sad that I have to continually do this because people like to mix words or whatever, but whatever, it is what it is. So, that being said, www.icearms.com/forums. I'm also on the Evolutionary Forum as well as the Elite Fitness Forum. Dylan@icearms.com is where you can get me with all questions and comments, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.